Hi everyone, welcome to this online presentation, which would be an overview of IHSA activity programs and student recognition programs. I'm Susie Noblock, IHSA Assistant Executive Director and Administrator for a variety of our activities here at the IHSA. To begin, when we look at all of our activity programs, we need to look at the mission of the association, and that we're one of the few associations that administer both athletics and activities. And all of those athletics and activity opportunities are focused on our mission, which is to enrich the educational experience. I'm really proud that we are one of the state associations that uses both athletics and activities to be an extension of the classroom. Students have a variety of choices of activities to choose from if they wish to participate in state series activities. It ranges from music to bass fishing. So there's a variety of opportunities if you have students that are interested in speech, drama, debate, scholastic bowl, chess, journalism. There's something they can get involved with. Oftentimes we get questions from new directors or schools saying, hey, we have a student interested in debate. Where do we locate that information? I would like to guide everyone to that sport or activity specific page. So for instance, if you have a student, an individual who's interested in participating in chess and being entered in our chess state series, as you see here on the screen, you would go to that activity specific page, and there you'll find a wealth of information, including not just the dates of the contest, but most importantly, the terms and conditions, which are the rules that govern the play for the activities. A lot of times schools might have a student interested one year, but not the next. And activities are an opportunity where you can have some individual participants. The calendar is also listed on each activity specific page. We list out a 5-year calendar on all of our sports and activities so you can see where it plays into your total school calendar. So check that 5-year calendar to see if the regional section or state series dates fits into the schedule. You also want to make sure you pay attention to the terms and conditions, which I noted earlier are the rules for play, and the manuals for schools and managers. It would be a disservice if your advisor or sponsor or director, whoever's overseeing that activity, did not know their rules. So make sure they cover that rule book and they have all the information they need moving forward so they can navigate through the state series with ease. That information, as I stated, is on the activity specific page, and you can also contact that activity administrator that's listed on the left-hand side for more specific questions. The terms and conditions that govern play are approved by our board of directors, and the administrator for that sport or activity are given the challenge, the role to make sure that schools follow those terms and conditions. So important things such as entry deadlines, withdrawal procedures, and rules of play are outlined. Again, that is the rule book that governs play, and you want to make sure your person that's overseeing those activity programs are familiar with that and have read their terms and conditions in detail. I would say that entering is probably one of the next things that the next item that we receive questions with. So as you begin entering your students in IHSA activities, you would do that through the school center as the school administrator. And it varies in schools. Sometimes the principal oversees activities. Sometimes IHSA activities fall on the desk of the athletic director. And sometimes schools have activity directors that oversee this responsibility. The deadline for most of our activities falls in on November 1st. So you want to make sure you go in that school center and you see the deadlines listed here and you've marked the appropriate box. The challenge with activities is that you might see speech or drama and you're like, well, we do a play, so I'm going to mark drama. What that means is that you are entering a contest play into our state series. If you are doing a fall play or spring musical at your school, your local rules would govern that. We would only need this box marked if you were to enter them in competition. We also see where schools may inadvertently hit the wrong box with debate or with music, where they have a music program, but their director only wants to participate in the small solo and ensemble events and not the large organizational events. So make sure you have that conversation with your director advisor so you're clear as to what your entries are in terms of being correct to be entered into the state series. You don't want to inadvertently mark, yes, we're doing all these music events, and then have to come back after a deadline and withdraw and risk a penalty. The school center is going to be your best bet to track this. This is where your directors will also track their deadlines. So in this instance, you can see here that the director is listed. It's important to get those directors' emails in there, whoever's overseeing your activity programs. If it's a speech coach, a drama director, whatever their role might be titled. And then you can see the deadlines and if they're in compliance with everything. And this is also available in their tracker, their password protected area. So we always encourage everyone to keep checking there to make sure that they get the read out. Another piece of information is make sure you have the correct contact info for the person that oversees those activity programs. Sometimes they change and it's an oversight when we don't get the correct email changed. So the information is going to the wrong person. So it's always a good guide to check your school directory to make sure the names listed are actually the correct people that oversee your programs and make those changes in the school center because we don't want them to miss any important correspondence. The activity updates are listed in the school center as well. We can post information in there if there are any rulings or changes, and then we want to make sure that there's any updates with the contacts so that important and pertinent information can get out to them. We're always looking for great hosts for our activity programs. So we encourage if your school is interested in hosting a music event, speech activity, or journalism sectional, that you complete the facility survey and the host availability request. We look at the facility survey, which asks some questions in regards to the size of your building and the capacity. And we also look at the facility or the host availability in terms of selecting our hosts that represent our geographical needs, that are good host sites, and that also can provide the resources we need as a host site. So check with your director, see if you're willing to showcase your school and be a host site. Some advantages of being a host site in activities is that you don't have to travel. So you have that kind of homeschool advantage where you aren't paying the cost of transportation and your students aren't on the road. It does take some additional commitment work from the administration and the director involved, but oftentimes our hosts find it very rewarding as they have a chance or opportunity to showcase their school and their students. We're also looking for people to serve on all of our advisory committees, but specifically our activity advisory committees. You would express your staff members' interest in the school center as well. And our advisory committee survey is listed that in the school center, and our staff uses that when we're looking to place members of our advisory committee. And if you have a staff member that you would like to recommend that would be a good contributor to our advisory committee, please put their name forward. The commitment is typically only once a year as we review the terms and conditions in the state series and make any recommendations for change. So again, highlight that in your school center and recommend some great staff members to our state advisory committees. A brief overview of our state final opportunities and activities and the dates and where they're located. IHSA drama and group interpretation activities are conducted as a state final March 22nd and 23rd at the Peoria Civic Center. And this is where students advance from their sectional, where they perform a contest play and or a group interp. The group interp has minimal set pieces, and the drama contest play would involve a little more of a traveling set. And even if your students aren't participating in that or you have interest in the future, we really recommend that you would support and encourage folks to bring their drama departments, their cast, to view the state final. A lot of schools will watch an activity state final for the first time so they can get an interest in it and see if they want to continue and develop those activities at their school in the future. So even if you're not participating, we always encourage you to watch as a fan. The IHSA debate state final is held March 15th through 16th at ISU in Normal, and this only advances to a state final, so there would be no regional or sectional qualifying. And the IHSA debate state final is unique where it offers 4 debate categories: student congress, Lincoln Douglas, public forum, and policy. So like many of our activity programs, even if you have one student interest in student congress, they could enter as an individual in our IHSA debate state final. You would not have to field an entire team. The IHSA speech individual event state final could also be entered by a team or an individual. So if you have a student that's an excellent radio speaker, you could enter them into the regional or sectional state series. And that culminates in advancing from regional to sectional to a state final at the Peoria Civic Center. And again, another great event. If you have students interested in watching on that Friday or Saturday, they'd see some phenomenal performances and get an opportunity to see that state final in action. For a lot of our activities, there's no cost to enter, but for drama, group and terp, debate, and individual events, there are what we call activity fees, and that covers the cost of the judges, and that's outlined in our terms and conditions, and that can be a nominal fee of $10 to $25 depending on the categories. Other than that, a variety of our activities, like many of our sports, all of our sports are free to enter, but there are penalties if they're breach of contract or they withdraw past a certain deadline. Our chess state final started at the sectional level for the first time last year and now culminates in a sectional and a state final, and that final is held at the Peoria Civic Center, another great event where you can enter as a team and individual. Another one of our activities that we have a lot of participation in is Scholastic Bowl, regional and sectional level, and that state final culminates March 15th at the Peoria Civic Center. You can always go back and review these dates on the activity-specific page where you're looking at the 5-year calendar and the terms and conditions. The IHSA Journalism State Final, it will be held at Heartland College in Normal, and that is a sectional qualifying to a state final. Another great activity that showcases your student media programs, journalism and yearbook or broadcasting programs, and another activity where you could again enter just one student. So for instance, if you have an excellent student photographer or a student that's excellent at editorial cartooning, they could be entered individually to qualify from that sectional to the state final. So reach out to your yearbooks and your newspaper staffs to see if there's interest. On the journalism webpage, they can go back and actually look at past winners, and they can look at past work to get an idea and gauge in terms of what the skills are needed for the journalism state final. Our individual event state final actually videotapes the state champions, so that's a great resource where you can go back and students can watch performances in debate, drama, and group and terp. Next, I'd like to transition to another great opportunity available for your students. The IHSA is proud to provide an opportunity to students to be national anthem vocalists at our state finals and to be state final pep bands that are featured at our boy and girl basketball and volleyball championships. Students that would like to sing the national anthem at boy and girl volleyball and or girl volleyball, boy and girl basketball championships would qualify through their IMEA. So if they're involved in their local music educator association, they audition there in January. But if they're not a member of the Illinois Music Association, they can submit via the directions on the website under the music activity page. They can select submission through the National Anthem Vocalist application. We recommend that they submit a video of them singing the anthem, and then we require the school administrator to also sign off. So if you have a student that's excellent at singing the national anthem, you've heard them at your school, really encourage them to send an application, and we can nominate them then to sing at our championships. Other than the ones that are elected through ILMEA, we have a need for folks to sing at championships at all of our other sports and activities. And we really like to encourage students, for instance, if they're a softball player and they can sing the anthem, they can submit the request to sing at our softball championships. So we try to link them to sports and activities that they might be interested in. However, it's not a requirement. We can link any student interested in singing the anthem to any of our state finals pending that application and audition. Another great opportunity is for your high school pep band to be featured at our boy and girl basketball and volleyball state final. And that is done through an application process, and the deadline is at the end of this calendar year. They submit a video collection of their pep band in action. So once we kick off our winter pep band season, some even mix some of their football season into the video, even though those participants might change a bit. We look for pep bands that are engaging, energizing, and can connect with the fans. And they get to be featured at our state final. And you can see here, they'll oftentimes be featured through our IHSA TV link. So we're always looking for great anthem singers and pep bands to be featured at our championships. Another great resource that folks aren't always aware of is through NFHS.org, our governing umbrella association. And our activity resources there offer courses and training and resources for speech, debate, and theater directors and judges and music director and judges. And there's some awesome online courses that help new music directors and new speech directors navigate their way through interscholastic activities, in addition to training folks who are interested in being judges and adjudicators. So check out nfhs.org and look at all of the opportunities available for activities there, especially in NFHS Learn. Another area that the IHSA is really proud in doing is the recognition programs we have for our students. We recognize teams that have a cumulative GPA by their names being listed in our state final programs, and that information is available on our website. But nothing makes me prouder when I open up the state final program and I see that page listed with all the schools where their speech team competed, but they also had an excellent cumulative GPA throughout their season. And it's another way for your programs to be recognized. It's a great way to present that information to school boards to show that your students are going above and beyond, just not in the classroom, but through their activities. And we also have additional awards such as the Heart of Arts Award. This is an outstanding award where we seek nominations for folks who are involved in activities who go above and beyond and demonstrating exemplary heart of sportsmanship or citizenship in terms of their participation. And they've exceeded those normal expectations in assisting others within schools or communities, or they've overcome some adversity or challenges and circumstances while still being active in their school and their community and performing art programs. For more information on the Heart of the Art Awards, Matt Troja is our contact here in the office. But again, by reaching out to anyone at the IHSA, we can guide you through navigating these award programs. So take advantage of IHSA activities to showcase your students, maybe through IHSA Drama State Finals, or enter a student as a photographer in the IHSA Journalism State Final, or give that student an opportunity to showcase their talents at the IHSA Speech State Final. The activities we provide here at the IHSA are really a great value to your school. You never know if you might have that future lawmaker in your building, so give them a chance to shine at our IHSA debate state finals. Activities really are a chance for students to shape and mold their skills And what's even most exciting is that through IHSA activities, those students can shine in the future. And we know that the future plays here. So thanks for taking your time to come into our online meeting about IHSA activities. If you didn't catch the entire presentation, we'll have it available on our website for you to go back and review. And again, I'm Susie Knobloch, IHSA Assistant Executive Director that oversees a variety of these activities. If you have any follow-up questions, feel free to contact me at sknobloch@ihsa.org, and have a great rest of your meeting. Thanks.